Greenheck, building value in air.
Hi, and welcome to a technical detail on the advanced controller for controlling Greenheck's HVLS fans. Today I'm going to be covering some of the more advanced features like schedule setup, group setup, how you do the software integration with BMS, and we'll see there's maybe a little bit more in there as well. Here I'm going to begin by moving into our settings page. I've got group setup, scheduling, security, auto detect, time, our BMS settings, as well as a question mark where you can see how to reach our customer support group. Inside our group setup menu, we can see that we have one fan set up, and if we want to assign the fan to a group, we just select what group number we want it to be assigned to. All the fans that we put inside, say, group 2, will turn on or off at the same time, and that will be inside our group homepage that I'll show just a little bit later. Inside our scheduling, we can set up a weekday or a weekend schedule that has a start time and a stop time. We can do 2 periods for our weekdays as well as 2 periods for our weekends. Tapping this box will let us identify the schedule 1 through 5. We can see that we've got some default start times and stop times. I'll quickly set those. Please note that this is using military time, so if you want 2 p.m., use 1400. If we wanted to see a weekend schedule, again, we have that same information, also using military time. Our security will allow us to log in as either a full user or an admin user. You'll have to have that login information from whoever installed and configured the fans. Also, you can reference the manual for default initial values. Our auto detect page. This will show how many fans are currently enabled, and if you need to add additional fans to the network, you would rerun that auto detect. If you have temp and humidity sensors, they can be toggled on or off from here. We'll cover temp and humidity sensors in more detail in a different video. Returning to that settings screen, we have our time, our current time, and if we would need to change it, we just set all those values. Our BMS settings. Here we can see the address, device instance, baud rate, max master, and max info frames. You'll need to get the information from your BMS network administrator, but you'll want the address and device instance to be unique throughout the network, then match up the baud rate, max master, and info frames. Again, you'll need to get that information from the BMS team. Finally, we have our additional information, which lets us see software versions, as well as our contact information for the customer support group. One last bit of information is if we are configuring our fan to be controlled by our BMS, we do need to go into the schedule, make sure that our fan is not assigned to a group, and then we'll have BMS available. This fan is now configured to be controlled by the BMS, and we can see that it's linked to the BMS or that we've engaged a temporary override. If there are any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to the customer support group.